now, can you hear? Da-da-da-da-da. Da-da-da-da-da. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, that's a little bit better, huh? Let's try the third setting. Okay, now I guess I should talk before I, Okay, this one's the best. Put that over here. I think I can actually put the microphone here, so that it'll be more between my two monitors. Okay, and I wish I could volume 100% my boost that. Oh. I can actually... What does this sound like? Sounds a little weird, but the audio is now louder, isn't it? The mic input. Alright. Now, is desktop audio coming through? Okay. Now it is, and now we're going to get echoing, so I'm going to mute the stream. Okay, we can go live. Let me get this link and send it forth to the interwebs. Alright, just sending a few more links out. Let's see. Alright, I think we're up. Let me just check one thing. Alright. Okay. And yes, I was actually able to boost the microphone volume in OBS. So, Hopefully I'll be a little more audible to some of those who were having trouble in previous streams. And I think I'm just going to start working on this. So I'm building a template room for the water palace. I think this is right. And so the trick is, actually no, I have a physical version of this. Let me do it that way so that I'm not taking up more tabs. Okay. I basically need to build the whole palace out first. Now, I do have a question. In GameMaker, if I do this, here's some ways. If I change this to different... Oh, yes. Okay, so this will make it really easy. Basically, that means that I can make a tile set one way, duplicate the room, and then put the tile set in another. Switch the tile set to something else entirely without having to replace all the walls, which is kind of important because of, you know, the way that yeah, kind of important because of how this palace is going to work. We're going to need some palette swapping done. So let's just start. I'm going to find, this is a template room, so we're not actually going to edit this one. We're going to make some duplicates of it. So this is water palace entrance. I'm just going to call it that. That works. This one, according to my, oops, handy dandy map, is going to be this big, I believe. Yeah, okay. So we can just start by building our walls here, and then, sorry, everything should be at least 2 blocks thick. This is kind of a lots of extra space kind of dungeon. Oops. I mean, I guess I should zoom in a bit. Okay, so this room, I just want to get the basic shapes of the rooms done so that I can know how they all fit together first. And then I can build, you know, connect them all with doors, and then I can just fill them up with puzzles. I already have the macro puzzle design, which I'll show in a little bit once I'm done with this room. It's just a question of, like, okay, just the question of getting the actual dungeon rooms in place first so that it's not too much of a hassle. I'm going to make it a little bit loud. Because this is, I made it a little bit larger than it was supposed to be, so we'll just cut off the edges to make it slightly smaller. It doesn't have to be exactly to scale, but I usually try to make sure everything fits together logically still. Now, GameMaker is not handy dandy. Let's see here. I want to measure this out. Okay, so this, well, it is a base, odd numbered base, so we need to actually trim up one side to make it slightly more off. There we go, and we'll just do it this way instead. Okay. This is how I'm counting, basically. Breaking into smaller pieces. So this would be the center, and this room needs to be broken into roughly thirds, which would be, this would this work? That would make this one smaller than the outside ones, or so I believe. Right, because this is 1, 2, 3 plus 2, and this is 1, 2, 3 plus 3. So if we want them to be identical, we can make this one more, and then use that wall. Okay. This is now split into thirds, horizontally, or vertically rather. Let's see, where is the doors? But you know what? Or I could do it like this. There we go. Well, most walls are like this shape, so we'll just do the one wide thick. Yeah. Okay, so now the doors are supposed to be kind of... The map says they're up... Oh. No, these walls do have to be thicker, but we can just make them like this. Yeah, these have to be thicker for a particular reason. And then the doors do need to be up here. Like this. You know, it's easier to count now because I have these tiles that are squarish. Okay, so this works. You have some centers. Uh-oh, did I do something wrong? Suddenly it doesn't look right again. 3 plus 1. Just exactly 3. Okay, that one. Okay, now it should be. This is all. I think this is perfect now. This is one room. Now this dungeon is a bit tricky because it's actually multiple levels. Which isn't a thing I've done before. But it's kind of necessary for how the dungeon came together. So we're just going to have to make sure that there's nothing too complicated that shows up because of that. So let's put the doors where they're doors, which is here, here, here. That's it, actually. The save spot is going to be, for this dungeon, is going to be right here. And I don't know. Oh, there is something over here, but that's going to be a story-related thing. This, okay. And then this is a one-way door, but we'll build that later. Okay, so this is the entrance. So let me get a pencil and then check that off of my map. Alright, now we make another room. And we'll just connect these all at the end. And I'm going to add... Kind of fun. We've been working a lot with, like, greens. This entire game, basically, is a forest and a swamp. But now we're into blue. And there's some brown and gray areas in the... somewhere else that we'll go later. Water, no, water and ice. Twice as nice. Hello, Evinsky. And welcome. Yes, this water and ice. We're working on the water palace. The fun bit of this dungeon is that it is also the ice palace. So, actually I was talking about this earlier. We need to make 2 versions of each of these rooms. One of them is when it is melted, and one of them is when it is frozen and cold. And so that's kind of the cross-dungeon mechanic. Height. Nope, I don't want the height taller, I want the width. Okay, this is a huge room. Well, kind of. It'll quickly become smaller when I segment it with different walls. Okay, so this one is really tricky. Oh crap. Okay, it actually needs to be even larger than this. Remember how I said it was tricky? This one is really complicated. It's gonna be a bit... Oh, you're gonna have to go slidey ice. Only for very, very small parts. I hate the slidey ice in like Link to the Past. That was the most frustrating thing. And so I'm gonna pass on that if I can avoid it. Now, there's some parts that will need it for something, but it will be limited. Okay, so this one's tricky. I should probably do... Let me... we're gonna make it I want to make a grid that shows me visually where divisions and things are. Okay, so $4,800 can be split into 6. That's 800. Okay, so I actually want a 6 by 6. You know, actually here we can do it this way. So that'll make it 6 pixels wide. Okay, 1, 2. And then I have an actual calculator. Let me do it that way. 192 divided by 6 is 32. So I actually want my grid to be, okay, this is the reference I want. I want to make a grid that goes over this room so I can use it as a reference for like where everything should be. 2 already? Okay, good. And my plan is to turn it into a background and just put it in the room. Do we want that? Oops. Okay, this should just be quick. I wonder I can do it. I think I can do this. Instead of redrawing all of them, we're just going to do this. So at one point I found a hotkey by accident that rotated the current selected palette by 90 degrees. But then I lost it, and it didn't work again, ever. So that was sad, because I do that kind of thing all the time. Okay, so we need just 3. Jeez. Ugh. I'm annoyed by this. It should have been easier than this to do it. I really think that producing different scaled grids to overlay should be just a built-in feature. Okay. Okay. This is our basic part. I wanted another grid layer, but I'm getting so irritated with this, I'm not going to do that right now. Okay, so this should work. If we take our main, we can add a background layer up here. Oh lord. Take this. Stretch. Excellent. Okay, so now I just want to take this and make it like not directly. Perfect. Okay, now we have a grid. This marks out even sections of it. Huh, funny. Some of them line up and some of them don't. Okay. So, now this doesn't have to be exactly right, but I want it to be close to right. Interesting how you made that grid. Hi, ZS Games? Wait. Hello, ZS Games. Interesting in what way? Oh, wrong account. This is Ryan. That's what I was thinking. I wasn't sure, but it had the same profile and gave me a real trip up. But that's all right. Yes. Hello. Welcome. Let's see here. Okay, so this is actually Okay, so this whole section here is going to be mostly blocked off. There's just one thing that sticks out, which is why we needed. I think I could. There we go. Oops. Maybe it was this. I've lost faith in your game. The grid does not line up with the tiles. Yeah, it will, well, I'm not, the grid is temporary, but yes, it doesn't, and it annoys me too. Unfortunately, that's just the way math works. It does line up with the actual grid. The tiles are larger than the regular grid. Okay, so this is going to be the same on the upper side, effectively. Like I said, this isn't going to be exactly to scale. Like, there's a slightly better scale than this, but hashtag OCD triggered. Yeah, I know. We'll get rid of it as soon as it's done. As soon as we're done using it, I will delete it. Because I don't like it either. Okay, this is here. Actually, okay, how can we split this? 2, 3, 4. Let's just do it that way. It doesn't have to be exact. I've said many times. So we're going to split this here. Okay. I'm following an invisible map. I guess I should show you guys the map. Can't you assign your own grids directly in the room editor? Been a while since I used it. Hit the down arrow. Yeah, so you can change the grid, not on a tile layer, and you can only show one grid at a time. So in this case, the tile layer, because it's a tile layer, it's snapped. It's forced to be the grid that is the size of the tile. I could go to the instances, and then I could change it to whatever I wanted. So I could be like, I want an 800 by 800. Just split the room into 6s. If I made it more clear and visible. 800 by 80, that's why it was green. None of these colors show up very well, do they? Oh, you can see it, kind of. Now you can see this lines up right with my white thing. But the problem is, if I change layers, it goes away. And now also it's pink, which is not what I wanted. Waffle with the arrow. Yeah. Yeah, it does look like a waffle, doesn't it? Weird. Okay, so yeah, that's why I have to make my own. I've done it a few times. I should just make like a bunch of them at the beginning. Okay, so this, man, this looks so big. But my design, from experience, I happen to know that you're much better off making it too big than too small, because you can just fill up the space with decoration after if it's too small. Okay, so this is where it gets really weird. The double layered nature of this dungeon. And that's why this room looks so weird already. Oh yeah, let me get the picture so that you guys know what we're talking about. Here it is. Guess I'm gonna download it. Show it as a photo. There we go. So this is map of the water temple. I guess if you don't want to know already, then it's too late. But it's 2 floors. So this is the first floor and this is the second floor, and they're stacked on top of each other. So, like, this staircase here is going to go up to this thing here, and this collectively is actually the room we're looking at. There's rooms underneath these kind of wings that you'll be able to get to. These things have rooms in them, and then on top of it, you can also come up here, but it's a separate floor. So that's what we're looking at. And then we also have this stuff here and here, which is why it's taller than it needs to be. So this okay, well, I guess right off the bat we can just make this second layer. Go around this all the way. Oh, story element. Yes, that's true. Do you remember who that is, though? Rather than two rooms are frozen and melted states, why not hold the global that holds if the room is frozen or not and do a tile swap? So I considered that. The thing is, there's some other transitions that have to happen. There's going to be different enemies. Actually, you're right. There's some things you also can't do if they're two different rooms. Yeah, we'll have to do it that way then. That almost makes it easier, but also more complicated. I'll have to think about that. Maybe we'll implement that today. Probably not. Okay, so this is partly... Okay, this has to go like this. Just generally. I want to say Micah was Randall's dad who, like, abandoned him. I should know this. I played through it multiple times. And yeah, there are a lot of characters, and yes, you're actually correct. That is who Micah is. It actually says he went to the water palace, so what state he's in now, will guess that will be the real surprise. Yeah, either way you have gains and losses. Yeah, yeah. But I think because some of the puzzles I want to do, I want to have shift between states. It'll be much, much easier, really, in the long run, to do them as a the same room with a state change, because that will make saving mechanics not have to be modified. I won't have to make any changes to the saving mechanics if they happen in the same room. Otherwise, I'd have to like do a weird thing where I like pass values and make sure they're all reading from the same key, which is what I did in the Water Palace, in the rather Kython Fortress. Are the enemies in the dungeon going to change depending on the state of the dungeon? Yes, they will, and now that I've finished this much so far, I am going to show that. I think I have... oh yeah, these things. Finally, I like feel less sure about using them. But let's give us a... Water Palace. Here we go. I finished the code for all of the enemies except the boss of the Water Palace. That's all these things here. There's 5 enemies. 2 of them are in one state and switch to the other state. So I'll actually compile the game for the first time this stream. Oop, that's loud. At least to me it's loud. Okay, we don't need to be here. Let me go through. Test. Okay, so now this super fast water slime is attacking me. I might want to do something more creative with it. It's just like a kind of slime. If we come up this way. Hello? Oh, I think I've killed him and then saved. He won't respawn. Okay. We need to move him a little bit so save key spot changes. These guys will stay dead for 15 minutes after you kill them, which means I killed him and then I teleported to the Water Palace and saved. So I can't get him. But we'll just move him around so that his save key is different. So not only do they change state when you change the dungeon, like when the dungeon itself freezes, but they can be frozen from other things too. So this guy freezes the blue one into, oh gosh, I'm kidding. Freezes the blue slime into an ice slime, and I'm gonna just die. You speed through those menus in a split second. Yeah, as you might imagine, I've probably sped through them like a few thousand times at this point. Okay, the ice slime I'm particularly happy with. Dagnabbit it. Also, new look at the bow, because I haven't streamed for so long. All these new things I can show you. What? Well, that was weird. Get out here. Got him. And then they bounce off walls also, so we can actually see this guy. He's freaking out. This is directly inspired, by the way, copied practically from Twilight Princess, where there's some enemies that do the same thing. But I think it's really fun, especially since you can freeze them. I think they don't yet, but they'll take a lot of damage from fire, like maybe instantly die. I'm not sure about that though, because you can just enchant your boomerang and then the water palace becomes a breeze. So I'm not sure, but at least they'll take more damage from fire. Oh, and there you go. Nice look at the new and improved daylight cycle. And I showed a GIF of this, I think, only in the alpha testers channel. So I'll show the bow charge up attack also. So if we stand here, we can hold the bow and release a crazy attack. Oh my lord, I've never seen this many bees at once. Because so that they spawn more bees if you kill the hive at night, but they also don't spawn bees in the like outside of the hive at night, except that they were outside and then it became night, so now there's even more. And then there's these guys. These were copied from, well, not really, but I had these in one of my older jam projects, the Voyage to the Final Lands. These ones are better though. Anyways, those were some of the enemies. There's a couple others. There's an Earth Sard also. That's the name of the wizard thing that was blowing ice at us. Okay. So yes, that was a long way of saying that the enemies change depending on which state you're in. Okay, so let's look at the map again. So this room, yeah, this feels pretty close to right. We need these, I think I want to make it a little bit narrower, because I can have more on the top. I think you should add some visual indication that the bow is charging in case a player is without sound. That is a good idea. I was going to write on my whiteboard, but I realized I have my notebook here. Eventually, we will have actual player animations. That's the first thing we're gonna do over the summer. My brother and I. My brother's been helping with some of the art recently. That marker cap opening sound was so satisfying. You know, I love expo markers. Actually, I have a mini rant about markers. At the beginning of the school year, I had 2 expo markers, like thin tip expo dry erase markers, and then an entire box of like 24 generic dry erase markers. The 2 expos lasted me the first quarter of the school year, which is say about 3 months, and all the math homework I was doing on whiteboards. The box of generic whiteboard markers lasted me literally the second quarter, the same amount of time. So they were like, I was going through them like every third day. I'd have to throw it away and get a new one because it was just out. And then I was like, well, I need more markers, so I went and bought 2 expo dry erase, like the large ones. I was like, that should last me the rest of the year. And then one of the 2 was just dead when I opened it. So I only have 1 marker right now, which is really sad. Okay. So now we have this little divot here. This divot is for an important reason. It serves like literally a singular purpose in the... Actually, is there even supposed to be a divot on the... This divot is really important though. It kind of is the linchpin to everything. Why did I draw one over here? Just to make it symmetrical. That's right. Well, it helps the player better be served by the important purpose also. It's easier to do the puzzle if you see a divot on the other side also. Oh, I'll show the area around the water palace also next time we load up to look at it, because okay, this looks right-ish. I'm not going to do collisions till the very end though, because there is a lot of other stuff that has to be done. But this would really be black here on the outside because it's outside of the dimension. But for now, I'm going to leave it like this so that I can make changes to the walls, make changes to the collision. Like, this is just very basic shape and where the doors go, and that's it. Like, nothing else here is actually permanent. So let's take a look at the map again. We have doors in the center of this also. Down here. Doop. And see, look, even though they don't line up, I know where the center door is. Look at that. Beautiful. Oh, no, don't do that. Oh, and I put them on the wrong way. Of course I did. Can I do this? Ha. Oh, one of them was on the right there. What do you know? And also there's a tile there that should not be there. Ah, what? GameMaker is whack. Okay. And then on the top layer we have, actually, here, the center, I believe. Is that right? Yes, that is center. Perfect. And that would be center here. And that would be center here. And this would be center here. Well, kind of, except for this divot, but this lines up horizontally with this one. So this is the main room of the water palace, which is a little different, as you can see, than the main room of the Kythan Fortress, which is kind of like a long hallway. This one's a little more centralized. You're going to be going around here. There's a really, really cool map of the optimal path through the water palace that shows when you're going through with when it's melted and when it's frozen. I'm not going to show that because then you would have the solution to the whole dungeon. And then one other thing we can work on, just to give us the shape. This is a terrible sprite, but I'm working on it. It has to go above, of course it does. Okay. We're going to do this. We're going to make it line up. It's okay, it's okay. Don't let your OCD freak. 3? No, let's give it 5. Okay, because there's 2 on that side, so that makes it 5. Whoop. Okay, and this is the basic conundrum of the puzzle. Why don't you, like, put the windows side by side? Which 2 windows? I'm puzzled. And now, is this a new Ryan that I don't know before, or is this the same Ryan from before, changing back? Like when you need to reference your whiteboard pick. Oh, because my screen is pretty small, and I have a physical copy printed out. I just pop it up so that I can. Okay, new Ryan, good to know. I just pop it up so that you guys can see it also, but I actually do have it on another screen that I look at when I need to. Especially when I'm not streaming, then I have a second monitor for most of that kind of thing. Let's see. Well, and welcome other Ryan. I'm glad to see we have now 2 Ryans, at least. Now, if you know any other Ryans, you should invite them also. Then we can just have a party of Ryans. Let's see here. I need... No, there's not. Is there... Oh, there's some other doors up here also. Forgot about this. That's not what I wanted. this is, okay, so to make this one center, we're actually going to also need to make it a little narrower. That's centered, right? No! I was mistaken. Now it is. It was centered to start. Okay. Ryan's a cool name. Yes, I do actually like that name. There aren't any characters named Ryan in the game yet. There probably will be some, at some point. Unless that would be weird. And this is a nice... Okay, good. This is actually... This doesn't need to be nearly as large as it is, so let's make it small. Like this. Then it makes it more obvious how you're supposed to solve it. I've only met one other Ryan, so I haven't talked to him in like 8 years, so I don't know how he'd react if I invited him to watch this stream. That would be a little strange, I can imagine. Okay, so we need, this is our second layer of instances. And there's actually one set of things I know we can do for now, which is this. And that is going to, whoa. Oh, that's why this is, whoops, demonstrating earlier. We don't need that like that. Okay, so we're going to connect that switch up there to this door. So, there are several Brians, but that's as cool as a name. Yeah. Wait, when ice slimes bounce, do they bounce off other slimes? Do they cause other slimes to start bouncing? Not yet. That, I could code that. I don't know how many there's. I don't think there's really going to be more than a few at a time, but that would be fun. That'd be easy. Just add an extra ore in there. Here, let's mess around with that actually. Hold on. Let's enemies. Why can't I? Oh. Well, ice slime hockey. Yes, Advanced's got the idea. Alright, let's try it out. So, well, part of the problem is that right now what it does is it sets them into the damage. Oh. No, this will be easy. For a second, I was thinking, but we just have to tell them. This bit. So they're going to, in the attack state, because it's a state machine, just add or place meeting ice. That will make this bounce. Okay, var test. I don't want to do more than one collision test if I can avoid it, but I need this data. Instance moving. No. What is it? Instance place. That's the right term. Okay. Or instance exists. Okay, good. That would be a cool puzzle. Yeah. We'll have some stuff about bouncing and sliding things in ice for sure. And the other cool thing is because you change the states, you can have one puzzle that you go solve while it's in one state and then come back and have to solve again to get all the way through on the other state. Which is also kind of super going to be fun, I think. Then with inst we can just do this. Nope. This. Well, boss battle, like concept of freezing enemies and using them as ricochets. I don't know if I want to spend that much time building a proper bouncing system. Right now it's actually super imprecise. It literally just makes it move a different direction than before. And that's really easy to do. Making it actually bounce would mean I have to get like the angle of collision, which is not easy to do. This is not super efficient, but it should work. Let's try it out. We can go in the hole. Well, actually, we also only want to do it if like this, so that they don't. Well, I think that they might get in a chain and never stop bouncing. GameMaker has built-in function for that bounce at position. Right, but that one's kind of broken. I've used it before. It wouldn't satisfy me. I think this is going to be really weird, but let's try it. It could also be really fun and weird. They're not mutually exclusive things. Show us the ice bouncing. Indeed. We will do it. Let's test it. I think this will work. Hello, blue slime. Alright, let's see what it looks like. Oh! Break him out. Just stop this madness. Works as intended. Beautiful. Sorry for the noise. I hope it wasn't too loud on the stream. It was loud to me. Oh gosh. Let's get this up. Okay, we need to do this a different way. This needs to be a separate collision. Do the arrows pierce them when they, and do they bounce when they use the arrows? Yes. Everything you hit them with will cause them to bounce. And yes, the arrows pierce them. Actually, you can chain shot them up to 3 times with the boomerang if you do a long throw, because it's just the right speed where they'll move away and then get hit by it repeatedly by it. And I thought that was just a really satisfying thing, so I left it there. Okay, so what we actually need is a little bit more intelligent system than just when they hit them also collide. Bunch of ice cubes in a blender. Oh, that's so funny. That is what it is. It sounds like that, huh? Ice bounce. Maybe it wasn't working correctly because of the lack of ice slimes in a contained area. Add more slimes and it will work. I'm worried. Just put like 50 in there. I think that would break my earbuds. They're already a little sketchy right now. Okay, let's see here. not ice bounce. Whoa. If okay, so now sorry, I'm very concentrated here. Just remake the whole game so everything bounces. Make Randall bounce. Make oh, I have to go up. Make the walls bounce. Make Randall bounce. The whole game bounces. I don't think you'd even need to remake the game like that. You just do a thing where everything is inheriting from one object and give it a unique event that's like bounce and then just execute it. Or just make an object that makes everything run that. But everything makes the same sound. No! Man, imagine releasing the game and being like, free DLC, bounce mode. At any rate. So what this structure does here is it will only do the actual ice bounce collision one time instead of, and so it won't stop, it won't do it again until after it's left the globber, the other ice. So with inst, now we can do this, this bit here. And, well, this should be the my ID bit. I think this will fix it. It will work as intended. Won't work quite as funny, but DLC difficulty, bouncy castle. Yep. And then also bounce. But this one, here's my trick here. I'm going to make it not play the sound because the other one will play the sound because it will also instantly bounce. Okay. Bouncy castle should be a hinted dungeon. We could do some more stuff with bouncy things. Not necessarily a crazy bouncy castle, but like a slime cave, like a Minecraft slime cave. Okay, let's see if this works. Ah! This is the endless cycle of bouncing that I expected. It's still pretty loud, but it looks much better. Dagnabbit. I got killed. Jeez. Lure B into the square? Why? Actually, I don't think they interact with each other, so it wouldn't be very funny. I wish, though. Okay, let's try one more thing, and then we need to come up with a solution for... A whole kingdom is made out of some kind of bouncy castle people, and they, like, worship the act of bouncing from the great god Bouncer. Like, there's a bouncer that's like... What? No, there's some weird stuff I have planned. There's a straw cult. They belong. They. I love programming. I love programming so much. Oh, you know what we need now? We need a bomb. We can blow them all up. Does the fire work? No, it won't. It's not programmed right now. Let's, there's something amazing about this. Now the problem is they won't ever stop bouncing like they're supposed to. This is the quality I expect from your streams in the future. Oh man, you're setting the bar high. Man. Speaking of which, I've been thinking I need to build like a stream highlights, because then people might actually like come to the streams more if I could show them that. And this will definitely be included in the highlights. Best thing about making games, even a AAA company mess around like this, then the next thing you know, it leads to a new idea or a new feature. And on a more serious note, yes. Some new idea, like this bouncing, was really fun. Now, how do we make it so that they actually stop bouncing ever? Or do we just trust that I'm never really going to put 15 of them into one room? I think that's probably okay. Like, most of the time, I don't think they're going to be able to bounce that frequently. So, we'll just, how many more can we put in here? Okay, this is starting to be really unproductive, but... Okay, this is the last time, I promise. Alarm event with a variable that controls if they can bounce or not. There's already a timer. The problem is that it resets the timer. And the problem is, even if they immediately stop bouncing, like, you'd have to... They would be able to start bouncing again immediately because they'd chain. Oh, the funny thing is, they can't even... Look, they can't even actually bounce because there's no free space, so the check I did doesn't... Oh. Whatever. Alright. Done messing around. That's actually horrifying. If you went in there, you would just die. Let's see, how long can I survive? Actually, I have a better idea. Oh no, they're coming out! No. I want this slime to die. I need to fix the slimes. They're not very good. Uh-oh. I didn't mean to start it. Okay, hold on. What is the, That one escaped. Yes. What? Oh, I have, it's in the devlog. There's a new item I added that I want to use before I go in there, but... New items... Oh, that's what it's called. Bottled frost. There we go. Okay. Bottled frost. This prevents you from being frozen. Whoa! Look at that screech. Oh gosh. Alright, we're gonna kill them all with a sword. I want to do it now. Bottled frost, save me. Escape. Loving the screen shake. Yeah. I bet if you do that enough, the camera shake will completely break and crash the game. You could get an integer overflow on the camera screen shake, but, you know, I could manually set the screen shake to... Here. Let's give it a nausea warning for this. This is... I think I should probably cap it at something reasonable, but... The thing is that the screen shake stacks, so if you have, like, a bunch of stuff all happen at once, then the screen shake gets crazy. Screen shake. So I like the stacking screen shake, but it does mean that if you hit like 15 things all at once, then it can get really crazy. Hey, Matthew. Hello, fellow person. Those bees are just minding their own business while Randall is slaughtering slimes. Yeah, that's true. They're over there. It's my test room. All right, test the crazy screen shake. Also, the oh, it's over. They hit me because that reset it. Oh god. Okay, we're leaving. Okay, no more goofing around with the screen shake. We need to Matthew's here now. The party's really started. Yes, indeed. Your voice is too low. I can turn it up. Or I can look at the camera better. Or the microphone, rather. Properties. Volume, I mean. Yep. There, I raised it a little bit. I don't want to raise it too much because I'm artificially amping it. I need to get a better mic, I think. But also, yeah, that's a problem I've been having for a while. I need to find an actual solution. But at any rate, we are working on... Here's the Water Palace. Okay, so I think this room, if we check the map, is good. There's this door up here, these doors up here, these 4 in the middle. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. Okay, we are good there. Oh yeah. So we just added this switch, and the conundrum of this switch is that the only way you can hit it is from on top of this spot here, which makes the central problem, because this door will lead to the boss room of the dungeon, basically getting to this spot and then activating the boss door. And the reason these notches are important is that there's definitely no way you can hit that with a boomerang or the bow from any other position. So now actually one thing I want to try is just teleport here in the game, look to see what the scale of this room is if I made it too big, because I'm a little bit afraid of that. Now, as I've said before, yes. Whoa. Oh, I see. I'm up here. Oh, and we still have our little crazy grid on, but like, I feel like this might be... I feel like this might be too big, if you think about it. This up here is just right. But the downwards part... What if... Yeah, that's too big. Okay, I have a solution. Perfect size for about 15 ice slimes. No! Jeez. No more. You can't. It's evil to do that. Okay, I'm actually going to make it the same width that it is now, but make it half the height horizontally. I'm just going to squish everything here, and that will make it easier to actually do it. So, oops. So actually, let's just start with moving the doors. We'll add the doors back then, but that will make it easier too. Okay, because I like the width of it. I take it about 100 or 100 or 200 ice slimes. No, 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 no. Now someone's gonna have to find a glitch where you can duplicate the ice slimes by like going in between the dungeon states or something. The save system breaks down. It's probably possible. I would not be surprised. So I'm gonna make this like this. Maybe we can make it like this big. No, I think I'd rather it be in this room too small than too large. Okay, so then we'll take this. Give me that. Boom. Perfect. Now we can actually make this. So that's the right size? Yes. Ah! I broke it. Dagnabbit it. Oh, well, we still have this copy. Good. Oh, you mean the room size? Yeah. I think that's about what well, yeah. 100 and 200 tiles or so. So I guess I made it like 25% smaller. No. Like 50% smaller this direction or so, but let us now. Yeah, because part of it is that you need to be able to see where you're going from the beginning, not what happened here. Okay, let's see here. But now I have to put more than one ice slime in the same spot so that people can see that they bounce. Otherwise, no one will know about this cool feature. We spent so very long testing and making sure it worked exactly the way we needed it to. This feels lame and sad compared to what I had before, but also much, much better. There's going to be a lot of walking back and forth between these rooms, so, whoa, jeez. We need to make sure it's not too big. And the width is just right, and it's kind of interesting too because the camera is wider than it is tall. That this kind of makes more sense for that too. You can see more of it out at once without getting tripped up. And I think part of this also I need the notch to be a little bit smaller. What? Oh, instances, I mean the wall. There we go. Okay. How big? 5? Okay, good. Perfect. And actually, let's make this just a flat 5 by 5. Scooching these doors up. This makes everything just scale a little bit better. I think we're going to have to make the other room a little bit smaller too. When they die, they split into 2 ice slimes. And then, when they break, they'll start bouncing in opposite directions. Then you only need to put 1 slime in, and when they die, they'll split. That would work. I thought about splitting mechanics. I think I might still use that kind of thing for the just a plain water one. I just made the water one like faster, and that's kind of a lame thing. So I'm not really satisfied with where it is now. Okay. This is... Okay, let's try this now. Well, actually, hold on. We need to put our doors on this layer. What? Clicking on the wrong layer. Okay. Boss. This one. That one. Oops. Not there. There we go. Yeah, this is plenty of space. Actually, yeah, it makes more sense for the water slime to split as opposed to ice. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. But then what happens if you split the water slime and then try to freeze it? Do I have to make small ice slimes? I could take utilization of the large ice slime. Okay, we're actually gonna go here. Perfect. Oh, by the way, this is a proper use of the mechanic that we actually first saw in Kaisen Fortress. Is these teleporting things. So you teleport back and forth this way to get around on the river. And there's a whole little maze and things that goes with this. And this is going to be kind of an important mechanic in the water temple also. I also fixed inside collision graphics. Before, you'd be like, if you're inside of a collision box, you would be really weird looking. Which meant that was able to be done with the same switch that was in the Python Fortress. I wanted these to be primarily a tool used with the bow, but I needed it for Python Fortress for that one spot that I couldn't work around. Wait, can you actually... Okay, can't really. I wonder if you can pick this one from... No, probably not. Yeah, I don't think so. Okay, so I actually want to save here. We're going to add doors to this part. This will go in to the entrance, and then the entrance will go straight into this room. Oh, so we should probably... Well, I'll do this on paper. But I need to label these doors so that we're not confused later. But for now, we can actually put some of the walls in. Doors in, rather. Entrance 1, 0. Water palace entrance. Yeah, this is fine size. Distances. No, it is 0. This will then be 1, 0. I think this is right. We just have to connect this to the outside water palace. Whoa, what's going on here? Oh. You know, it takes kind of ages to connect these doors together, but it's a solution that has served me well. Palace entrance 0. Okay, I think this should all work. Let's just check that out. All right. Let's see to make sure everything is kind of connected up properly. Good. Well, okay, that looks... But now you can see why these walls here, these ones here have to be wide, because they actually line up with this part of the, like, the water channel is actually going out, like, this is outside, that's why this will be also black. This is actually the outside part, the water channel here. This one here lines up with that other one. And this is actually 2, 3, 4. I wonder if I can get that end shape in. Yeah, not too worried about that. So this works. This is definitely just about the right size. Here's where we can have kind of a story thing happen. A save spot here. A little bit of space for you to move around in. And this is just right. Yeah, it's still pretty big. So I'll have to make sure I have good, like, functions for, like, showing where stuff is and things like that, but can't hit this one because it's only one layer. Well, you're supposed to hit it from a different layer, rather. Okay, so this feels about right. This room could be a little bit smaller. I think I'm going to make it, you know what, we can make it smaller, slightly smaller. Entrance. Okay. Terrain. Nope. Walls. Boop. Perfect. Right there. And then maybe we can do it like that for the actual spots, because there would be kind of water there. But I don't know, that looks a little weird to me. I'm gonna leave it rectangular. It's tricky. I don't know quite what the shape I want for this yet is. Like, I could go with this kind of thing. We get maybe kind of circular. So we like do there's something appealing about that. Yeah, how about like a circular kind of thing for this dungeon? I'm asking your guys' opinion, but also I think I've already decided, so. But I'll worry about that later. That doesn't have to be right now. At any rate, I think I'm actually going to end the stream here just because it's kind of late, and I think that if I'm just going to keep building levels, that it won't be that much fun. So I think it'll be easier for me to. I have some other things I need to do also, and just then sit down and focus on my own time late into the night, trying to get some stuff done. I'm glad I could spend some time showing you guys all some of the new enemies and the ice slimes, and the bouncing thing was really fun. And oh, you know, there is one more thing I want to do first, and then we'll end the stream. I want to show off the snake also, because I showed a GIF on Twitter. Okay, good to see. See you later then, Ryan. If you can wait for 5 seconds, I'll teleport to the snake also. Where the heck am I? Perfect. This was like literally the right spot to be, and there's the snake. And yeah, so it kind of wanders on your own. Gotta wake up in 6 hours, so I'm really liking how the game's coming on. Gotta stay see the snake. Yeah. Well, oh gosh, I angered it. It's really dangerous. Hold on this. You can dodge it, but it's hard when you're in the narrow space. It's recommended that you don't fight him at all. But I defeated him. Look at that snake boy. Alright, well, we've seen the snake get our glorious reward. And Danger Noodle XL. That's pretty cool. Nope Rope. Oh man, we're gonna have all kinds of good nicknames for the snake. The Swamp Python officially, but I guess you guys can call him whatever you want. Alright, that's all for the stream today. I'll see you guys next weekend, Saturday or Sunday. I'm not totally sure yet. I have more free Saturdays now that I figured out how to like get my homework done on time, so I might do it more on Saturday because that works better for me. But I'll let you guys know in the Discord as always. See you around. Have a great day. Thanks for watching. Great night, I guess. Yep. That is all. I'll be back some other day.